In this video, I'm going to transfer my grain spawn into my prepared sawdust bags, and they've already been pasteurized and they're cooled from the other day. And for my grain spawns, I've actually got a fourth variety, but it's not quite as far along as the others, so I was going to give this one a little more time to mature. But what we're going to put in today, this is a white morel. This one is a chestnut, and this one is enoki. So what I'm going to do first is get my isopropyl alcohol and a paper towel, clean everything up as best as I can. So we want to keep things as sterile as we can as we go to avoid any possible contaminations. Wipe off my countertop. Bags a quick wipe down where I'm going to be handling them. I'm also going to go around the jars, just so while I'm handling them, I don't accidentally pick up something that I don't want in my sawdust bags. First off, I'm going to break up the contents of the jar so I can pour them out. If they're too tough, you could use a knife or do something to break them up, but I found if I do this ahead of time, it's a whole lot easier to transfer them into the bags. Those all look pretty loose. Looking pretty good, so I'm going to get them as close as I can, ready to go. So now I'll take one of these and trying to be as clean as I can and not handle inside the jars or the bags at all. Try not to breathe into them or do anything that'll transfer potential unwanted stuff. Okay, so that was enoki. Hold my bag back up, get it on the sealer. I actually like to run the sealer through 2 cycles just to make sure those bags get sealed shut good. There we go, and double check, make sure it's got a nice seal line across the top. And holding air. Now I can just go through and fluff it up a little bit and try and mix that grain throughout the sawdust bag. Once I can see the grain through the whole bag, shake it all back down to the bottom and try and clean off the filter patch as much as you can, just so nothing grows through it. And make sure you label the bags, because once they're in the bags, they all look the same. Enoki. that'll be ready to put into my shelf to let it mature. So I'll move on to the next bag. This one is chestnut. Run it through my 2 cycles on the sealer. Looks good as well. I'll go ahead and get these others mixed in and then I'll shake them all. Okay, this one is a white morel, and where I did it in the quart jar, I'm just going to dump half of the jar in. Use that for 2 bags. Here's more of a close-up view of the humidity controller. And it cycles between 80 and 93 or so. I try and keep a pretty high humidity in it when I've got mushrooms fruiting. Muffin fan on top. If it runs too fast or blows too much air, you could always throttle it down with a piece of plastic or a piece of paper, cardboard. And I'm just blowing the air into the plastic tent. That way I keep good forced air going through it. And the air that I'm blowing in is always going to be fully humidified. Here's a look at the mushrooms. One little king coming out. Lion's mane. Okay, here's the humidifier going through a humidity cycle. And just a quick peek under the bottom. I do have a splash guard underneath the fan. The mister does splash up a little bit of mist, and it just protects the fan, keeps it from getting wet on the underside. And I just have it connected through a drain tube to blow humidified air into the rack enclosure. And it'll go up, and it's set to shut off at 90% relative humidity, but since the humidistat is kind of a little bit slow reacting, it'll usually go up to about 93 or 94 and then shut off. After rolling my cart back, I went ahead and decided to go ahead and harvest the oyster mushrooms, elm oysters. Let's see what I got. 200 grams of elm oysters. And these I picked earlier in the day. These are some king oysters. And those I had 650 grams, which is 1.7 pounds, or 1 pound 7 ounces. So not a bad harvest. Thanks for watching.